Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Paul K. This is Saturday Mornings Outdoors, and we're gonna cut a few holes and see what's biting out there. The water's way down on this lake, very unexpected, so we're gonna see how this goes. And we are ice fishing, so stay tuned. Let's try our luck. Let's go. So, safety tip, along the edges the ice freezes first on first ice, and it freezes out towards the center of the lake. And then in the spring, or whenever the thaw is, the ice unfreezes or thaws, same thing, from the shore out to the center of the lake. So looking back over here, when you're checking the thickness of the ice, you notice it looks kind of dangerous there. It's kind of open, but it's only about 2 inches of water. Once you step out here, you're talking, that's a good 10 inches of hard, clear ice. So that's indicative of warm spell, which we had towards it started to thaw, but now today it's 27 degrees with a wind out of the west with a good 15 miles an hour. Originally, I was gonna fish on that end because I was checking the map and I thought I'd like to give that a try, but the wind is howling up there. It's 25 miles an hour, and it's 27 degrees, so I didn't want to sit in that. So this cove is protected, and this is generally the cove I normally fish in anyway. So let's give her a go. We'll set up a few holes and try this out. See how that. That'll get me started. So all week here, it's been 40s and somewhat above, close to freezing at night, a little above freezing. So there's a lot of edge ice melting. But today and last night was like 15 degrees. We're back to winter again. So I'm hearing a lot of booming. Now that I want you to hear it, it won't do it. That's not, and some people call those pressure cracks, or there's one right there. It's booming. It kind of sounds like low thunder. That's the ice freezing again. That means it's completely safe. That has nothing to do with melting. Melting very rarely makes a sound. It cracks when it's melting if you're near it and you're in danger. And believe me, from what I've seen in statistics shows, I've looked it up, you ain't gonna outrun. If that ice starts cracking around you, it doesn't just crack and then you can outrun it. 99% of the time, you just fall through. I fell through twice. You're walking along, you're not paying attention, you're not doing it how you're supposed to do, and you just go through. Bang, that's it. Before you know it, you're in the water. So you can't outrun that. That's what I'm trying to say. Most of the time, So those are today's tech tips on how to stay alive. But I am using the ultralight pen, the ultralight ugly stick, and tiny daredevil tip with crawler, the usual stuff, not crawler, trout worms. This lake is really low. I'm kind of disappointed because this cove is shallow anyway, and 4 or 5 foot depth, but it's really low. I don't know why they let it down so low, but they got their reason. So if you look, I got 7 holes cut about 75 yards up, and you just spend 5 minutes on each hole jigging until you hit them. That's all. That's the strategy when you're jigging. If you're a jigging guy, if you're a trap guy, set out your traps. But you can see the holes go out. And that M18, I did that in about less than 10 minutes easily. It makes it fun. It really does. It just makes it fun. There's no work involved. Look at all this refrozen ice. It's almost like art. But it was warm this week, you know, but it's beautiful out here now on this end. On the other end, it was howling. This cove is protected. That's why it's so popular. In the winter when the north wind is a-blowing. All right, here we go. Nice school bass, smaller bass. Come on, you. All right, I'll get you back in. Beautiful. First bass of the year. Ain't she pretty? Let's get it. All right, you. Go ahead. I mean, no nibble, nothing. Just took it. Just weight on the line. And that feels great. It just feels great. Much deeper water. Not much deeper, but it's probably 7 feet here. And before, all 10 first holes were like 4 or 5 feet. So let's see how this goes. And I should have showed you. I just switched from the Daredevil to this little swimming wrap. Remember what we were talking about last week? Rapala Works. Rapala Works. It's a little swimming wrap. And when you jig it, it swims in circles. Ingenious design. Rapalas work. That's all I can say. This lake has summer camps along it for kids. Wonderful place to children in the inner city come here out in the woods. It's a wonderful opportunity for them. They stock it twice a year with trout, by the Division of Fisheries and Wildlife, and they really stock this place. This is when I go spring trout fishing. This is one of the spots that I zero in on. Largemouth bass, perch, sunfish, catfish, carp, sucker, smallmouth bass. One of the few areas in this local neck of the woods that has smallies. There's holes in here that are, according to the bathymetrics, 55 feet deep. And this was an iron ore bog mine. Iron bog ore mine, however the correct way to say that is. And some of the cannons in the Revolutionary War were smelted from the iron ore that came from here. Paul Revere used to own this impoundment. Back then, everything was water-powered, and Paul Revere was a wealthy man, and he bought up most of the land rights to the lakes in this area, connected them all, and they would run on water power, and had one town over, one of his shops is over there. It's a national landmark, but it's a lot of history here. And the Wampanoag Indians have camped all along through here. This is all Wampanoag area. But a lot of history here, and absolutely stunningly gorgeous lake. And it's got a lot of species of fish in it too. It's also got American eel and white perch also. Those ice tips are freezing up. I keep having to stop and unfreeze. And that one's a male. You can tell the males don't have bright markings on them, but it's a good healthy one. Guys down south go crazy for these. They're good eating, but they're pain in the neck to fillet. You know, go back to where you came from, pal. Hang in. The other way. Beautiful down here. Beautiful shot. All right. Bye-bye. This is the safest ice possible. Good clear ice. When you cut a hole through this too, when you catch fish, you can see the fish coming up. You know, I'm sure all you other ice fishing guys know that. But so my hands are starting to freeze, and I think I am going to call this a show. I caught a couple of nice fish, and I had a lot of fun bringing it to you. So don't be bouncing off the walls. Get out the ice fishing gear and let's go. And tune in next week, and we'll hopefully there'll still be ice. It's been pretty warm. I know it's early January, so the hope is still there. So as usual, please like and subscribe. My name is Paul K. This has been Saturday Mornings Outdoors. And as always, don't forget to say your prayers. Jesus is waiting to hear from you.